Um, Good news. The thing that we were trying to do yesterday is now working probably pretty well, actually, not just probably. It's working very well. It's kind of cool to see. I had to do some additional math to it. I'm going to show it off while waiting on some people to join because it's pretty fun to mess with. And look. So for context, I wanted to hit some rocks and it spawned some little things, and I wanted to bounce. I wanted it to, wanted the items to bounce on the ground and glide a little bit, making little like cute little bounces to feel more satisfying when you get those items. And I was having trouble because in top down, you can't just use built-in Godot physics, right? Because it knows how to like slide on to each other, treating the ground as a wall, or you can treat a gravity, like the actual y direction of the game, to be the gravity. And those were the only two options. But then the options we needed to have was pretend that the wall is the ground, and whenever the item pops over, it needs to ignore the wall, but pretend that it's coming out of the wall, but then translate it upwards instead. Anyways, long story short, it's very complicated. It's not simple, but I've done it. It actually looks pretty good. I believe this screen is a little bit too small, so I'm gonna increase the resolution or decrease the resolution so that it fills more space. Let's do this. And I think it looks what do you call, pretty dope, for lack of better words. Look, got boop boop, and then the break animation looks good, and bam, look at that, with the shadow and everything. So I made some veins here so you can see when the item pops, you can see the shadow getting small as the items go up. That's I made it manually. It's not even a sprite. It's a circle I drew on the ground based on the I don't know if this is gonna make it so that there's like too much delay though. I don't know if this is going to impact frame rate. I guess I should go check on the debugger real quick. So yeah, look at that. Looks good, huh? Little bouncy bounce. There are a lot of errors though. Jeez. Oh, it doesn't like that. Can't take value from empty array. What's empty array here? What does it think is happening? Oh, right here? Okay, I guess. I suppose it requires me to do a little check. If the action is pressed and action queue is not empty, and then the last thing that happened was strike. So hopefully there's no error there. All right. Getting it going here. Oh, it's not detecting it anymore. Oh. I guess I should, this is a wrong check, huh? The action queue back check should only happen if action queue is not empty. So do the back check. Like that. So if the action is pressed and action queue is empty, then do this. Or if it is not empty, the last one is not strike, then do that. I think this should work. All right, I'm going to do some testing here. And then we're going to get some, let's see. We'll get some performance issue, I think, if I break a lot of the rocks. I just got to find the rocks, though. It's hard to find the veins. I think the map might be a little bit too big. I want to see what this does. Yeah, also I made it so that there's a chance of spawning 1 to 3 little rocks. Hello, Void. You are indeed first. I don't know if it's actually affecting the performance of the game or not. I have to take a look here. Profiler. No, not profiler. FPS. It's not that bad. Processing speed is a little troublesome. It's going up to 10 millisecond. I mean, 783 FPS is actually pretty bad, right? For this type of game. What do you think? Look at that, processing speed is going up because I'm drawing a lot. I don't know. No orphan nodes. There are a lot of objects, but it shouldn't be that bad. FPS is 400 in this case. Ooh, I don't know. ZM says the bounce is so satisfying. Thank you. Took me a while. I figured it out. There's interesting math involved with it that I figured out. So yesterday when we were working on this, we said, okay, well, we're going to say it's going to move laterally and then set the starting point as the ground level and then have it bounce when it hits that Y level. But I made a change. I don't know if you noticed. I made a change so that it still looks like it's grounded when it's not moving laterally, but it can go off like explosion. I need to, well, next thing to do is update the map, but here it is. Look, boom. You see how this one went from here to diagonally like this? Over here too, look. Like that. But it still looks like it's bouncing. And you can kind of tell that what is being considered as ground is being tracked by the shadow. So you can see the shadow to see where the system thinks is the ground is. There's some rotation, additional math, and all that stuff is going on here. Okay. This is not very promising. I do want to know what is having this issue. And then let me get rid of some of these errors as well. There is no animation called... Oh, I see. I mean, that was on purpose, but I guess I could just... I guess I could just ignore it if it doesn't have it. I'll do a check here. How do I check if the animation exists? Animation. Get animation. Animation property. Plays animation with key name if custom speed is negative from and da, 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 da. If this method is called with that same animation name, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really say if I can check for animation existing or not. It just doesn't like it. Well, I can make it so that it only plays for the ones that are visible. So we can do the visible check first. And if is visible. Hi, Kado. Welcome. We're doing some interesting things down here, I think. I think it's interesting. But you may not think so. Surprisingly hard. It was interesting enough of a problem that I think I'm going to make a little short video on this one. Because it's kind of like a twist, you know? We're going to experience the bounce a little more. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Just imagine how you would make this bounce. I think a lot of people had... I just know that people have a little bit of misleading ideas initially, just because yesterday when I was talking about this, a lot of people suggested things and none of them were what I've done. And the few things we tried didn't really work. So I do think it needs to be Y sorted or something so that it's like better, but let's see. Debugger. Okay, all the errors are gone. Only warnings left. And under monitor, FPS is definitely struggling. I do wonder what the issue is here, what the biggest processing is. I guess all of them are running. Let me see. Rock, salt, boom. It's doing all these things. I think all of them are done spawning, I think. So I shouldn't have to worry about this. Oh. No. Okay, so that's clearly the issue. Issue is that it's not turning off this process after bounce is done. It needs to. What's the velocity here? What's moving still? One of these guys are still moving, apparently. I don't see anyone moving. It's like find a mover. Okay. So clearly it's coming down here. It's doing that. It's like, hey, bounce it out. And velocity is always being reduced by 0.7 or taking a 70% of the original. But if the velocity is essentially 0, which in this case, this is not technically 0. It's going up by 8 pixels per second. Yeah, I don't know. It's not approximately 0. We need to have a better measurement. Maybe it needs to be like 10. It keeps changing. Okay. All right. I mean, that seems like it's working. Yeah. I hope this is all fine. Okay. Now, let's see if it's coming down to here. It is still. Length squared. What's a length squared value for this one? I guess, maybe I should do 100 because it's squared. I'm really hoping that it doesn't run after a break. For the sake of performance, it's just processing way too much. Denimal says, how's the bounce going? Oh, looks nice. Yeah, thanks. I spent a little bit more time, and it's going well. Look, right? It's doing what it's supposed to do, and now it does an explosion instead of just a lateral movement. I was just explaining to the chat earlier that this was actually a pretty interesting problem to solve. Now I'm just making sure that it doesn't... Yes, it stopped. Okay. So I'm just wanting to make sure that these little rocks after spawning doesn't keep processing, eating up or hogging up the processing power. It's actually really satisfying. Actually, it didn't look this good until I added the little shadows logic. Shadow really makes it feel more grounded for sure. Okay. All right, no processing here. FPS is a little better. Processing time is still a little bit rough. I need to know what is running on the process besides this. Environmental character has been killed. I guess the level might be running. You know, I don't want to super optimize it, but I am curious about this. Which object is running a lot of process. Anyways, okay, so bounce is done. Bounce is ready. Anna's Error 404 says, hey Ezra, I have a question. Why not switching to Linux? I'm seeing everyone switching to Linux. Why? Why is everyone switching to Linux? Is there I mean, that's my question. I do Windows because most of the players out there are on Windows. Um, so as a game developer, I think having the same machine or the operating system as the potential player is probably solid. Also, a lot of the software's Linux support is kind of bad, and I don't want to have to deal with that. That's my personal reason. I used Linux back in school and work, but you know, I like the easy desktop Microsoft Windows OS. Denmal says, "Do you ever share your code in repo, or not really because you plan on releasing it? Would really be interested in referencing the way you solve the bounds." I do release my codes, actually, especially if I do coding videos. Typically, I only release it as part of videos. So if I'm making a video on this, I will release a code on this. I think that's probably a good one, at least because it's a little bit more technical. Even though it's a really simple code, right? You can see right here. I'm doing the shadow drawing here, and I'm doing the... basically, what I'm doing is I am choosing the direction of the spawn, the bounce direction, and I am translating what it means to be grounded based on the velocity. So maybe I can clean this up and release this code as part of my next video. Anyways, let's see. Kato says it's because PewDiePie switched to Arc. What's Arc? Arch architecture, bringing a bunch of idiots to the Arc forums. I'm not familiar with that forum, but I'm guessing that's where all the conversation of Linux is coming from. I mean, if more people get on Linux, that means more support will be there for Linux, right? Hopefully. I think it'll take a lot, because typically for people who are using Linux, they know how to solve their own problem for the most part. If not, it's usually run by the community. It also depends on what version of Linux you're using. Some of them are more enterprise than the other. Arc is Linux distro. Okay, that's what I figured. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not with the fold, unfortunately. In any case, let's see. Next thing I think I want to do, now that the rocks can be broken, I think I want to pick up the rocks and start counting them, right? So let's see. Let's see. So we already have the area. And here's a question. Should the area of the rock salt detect if the player is in there? Or should the player detect if the rock salt is in its vicinity? Who does the detecting? That's the question. Who does the detecting? I think the player should be the one who's doing the detection, right? Because I don't want to like parse that too much. So what I'm going to do here, Daniel says, I like the idea of the player detecting. Yeah, exactly. I agree. So let's get the player up in here. And player is going to have a detection range, I'm sure, which can change based on... I mean, it needs to have a little bit of magnetism, I think. So let's add an area. There are a few ways to go about it. Item, pickup area. So, you know, we all know the whole effect of like... Danimal says, can we add cute little pop sound when they get picked up? Yeah, we have to. But once again, this is a free asset challenge, so we got to find free sound for that. I'm sure there's a lot. I wonder if Itch probably doesn't have much sound effect, right? Itch. SFX. I might actually have free sound effects somewhere. Yeah, I think... Hold on. Free sound. There's like a free sound Yeah, there you go. Ooh, thanks for the resub. For a month. I'm trying my best. Welcome, welcome. Thanks. I'm trying my best says thanks as part of the resub. Well, thanks for watching and thanks for resubbing. Okay. Well, can you open this? Hopefully there's interesting sample here that I can use. I think GNU Linux is better for game dev in my opinion. Way easier to test server code. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you could always have a Linux server remotely that you can connect to. It's usually going to be hosted on Linux box, plus compile times are way better. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. Similarly, iOS is pretty good because it's also Unix based. I actually like developing in iOS machine because of the whole terminal situation. Okay, we're gonna get a little pop, cute pop. Oh, that's not the kind of pop I was looking for. I realized the pop is pop song, not like little pop sound. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that you guys can hear the browser as well. That's funny. Oh my gosh. You know that's gonna be solid. Oh, 4 different sounds? Yes. I like that one. Oh, that's a Minecraft one. I think 4 is okay. I'm gonna go with this one. Somebody's literally making the sound with their mouth in this one. It's pretty funny. That's pretty satisfying. So we're gonna. Do I have to log in, even though it's free? Okay, hold on. Let me log in outside just in case. I don't actually know my password. I didn't. Hopefully, I have an account already. Oh, that's not my password. Nope. I might have to reset my password. Ah, okay. I'm doing a password reset right now. Just in case you're wondering what's going on off the screen. I don't know. For some reason, even though there's probably nothing that's sensitive that can show up as part of it, I just find it more secure to do it off the screen. Just in case there's some gnarly people that can do things by just looking at the little dots. I can't imagine what, but, you know, why risk it? All right. Password has been reset. I'm excited to hear the pop sound, actually. Oh, so it is as the dev still. Okay. Hey, where did the thing go? Let's see. Pop SFX. It was the... Hey, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Perfect. We're going to download this little purse sound here. I wonder if I can just do sectional. Is that a thing I can do in Godot where you can get just a little section of the sound or a little portion of the sound, or do I have to make it into its own sound in order to use it? Like kind of like using a region of a sprite. Can you just use region of the sound? I forgot what the name of the project was. Roguemine. There it is. And then I'll put it under item. No, it's character pickup, I think. The average group says, I would just use Audacity. It's so easy. Yeah, no, I also have Reaper, so I could just clip it, I guess. Okay, pop sound. Where does it belong? Items, I think. Hopefully. No, character? Because it's character who's picking it up. Okay, I'm going to put it under character. Oh, this organization is getting really bad. But alas. Welcome, Goob. Hi. All right, let's call this. We'll open this in Reaper, shall we? Open with. Oh, I can't do that. I'll just do this, I guess. Goop says, but also curious if you can just use parts of the. Oh, well, I hear myself. Ah. Here you go. Huh? Okay. Ooh, okay. The whole monitoring. Average Group says, hey, Ezra, glad to catch a stream for a bit. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Always love seeing your name pop up. Okay, so that's already saved. Don't worry about that. I'm going to probably import some media here. And we're going to go to the Godot project. It was called like Rogue Mine or something like that. Ah, there it is. Imagine having so many projects that you don't remember any of the project names. Okay. So I think I can do sectional export. Like I can be like, hello? Can I just select part of it? I thought I could. What happened to it? The little sound is funny. I swear this was easier. Wait, what happened to the first one? Oh, there it is. Okay. Gonna just slice that. Slice it over here. Ah! Ah! Okay. Ah! Why is it deselecting? There you go. Do one of these. And then hopefully... Oh, yes. Okay, good. I have this. So I'm going to grab this little marker thing. I didn't even have to split it. And then say render. And I'm going to render just a selected region. Marker plus region. Markers only, I think. And then MP4? No, MP3. I don't want to do wave. I mean, wave is higher quality, but it's very heavy size-wise. So we're going to call this pop1. And we'll put that under, let's see, browse directory, under Ezra. Is it? Godot project, Rogue Mine, character SFX. Render. No, it rendered the whole thing. Hold on. I'm going to have to figure out this setting again. Godot says, hey, Ezra, was there a programming concept? Hold on, I skipped something. Daniel says you can play. You can call play on audio stream player and specify the time you want it to start. Oh, really? Okay. But does it stop where I want it to stop? Or do I have to manually do that? Godot says, hey, Ezra, was there a programming concept from when you were a beginner that made you fall in love with programming? For me, it was discovering function pointers and passing functions as parameters. So, I think I always liked programming, but what really opened my eyes up to like my favorite was when I got to assembly and Logic Gate, the electrical engineering part. That's when it actually clicked for me. When I saw the process, when I was learning the process of going from Logic Gate to building a simple adder with the Logic Gate, and then using that adder with some sort of like information holding capacitor to expanding into a memory, and then bus and clock cycle, I think that really got me to love computing in general, I want to say. That, I mean, I talk about that a lot because I like it a lot. Okay. Source is master mix. Oh, I guess I have to do this, huh? Bounds. Oh, bounds. Okay. Selected region or project marker. I think project marker. Wait, why doesn't it work? Custom time range. Oh, I can do custom time range, time selection, select a marker. No file. Wait, what? Hello? MP3 minimal compression. You know what? I'm just going to do wave. And I don't know what this means. Why is there additional setting here? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Hold on. Do this. Can I just select this? Oh, I can. Okay. Render. We're going to render a selected region. Why does it say no file? What does that mean? Hello? I'm struggling out here. Can I just get that render of this? Oh, no. I closed the YouTube window, so now I have no idea what the... Or, I closed the Twitch window, actually. So I have no idea what the Twitch is saying. Creator dashboard. Who knew that it was going to be such a struggle to get the sound chopped? I didn't. I certainly didn't. I thought it was just going to be... I mean, I've done this before. I swear. Master mix. Okay, that's fine. Bounds would be the selected region. Region manager? No, has nothing to do with this. Markers. Select a marker. Project marker. Browse is there. Sample rate, it doesn't matter. No file. Hello? Why is there no file? Goop says it's always easy until you have to stream it. Yeah, exactly. I swear I've done this before. Okay, well, here's a solution. I'm gonna cut and then just render the entire project. Call it pop 1. Overwrite. Boom. Oh, beautiful. And then now we're gonna cut these two. And then we're gonna render the entire project. Call this pop 2. Beautiful. High tech, I say. And then we're gonna have this. Call this pop 3. I mean, this is only a small bit of what I need to do, so I can't spend too much time trying to actually figure it out. Though I guess some might argue that figuring it out will be beneficial long term. I say to you, sir, patooey. Okay, so we got the pops. All right. We got our first free sounds out. The average group says, look, now it's working perfectly. Just got to do it the long way. Exactly. We like doing it the long way. I think that's always the theme of our life in general. Okay, we're going to make an audio bus, I think. Because I would hate to add audio note every time, and I've done this before. So we're going to have folder for audio, and we're going to create a scene called audio manager. I guess it's control technically. And we're gonna add a script to it. Audio manager, class name audio manager, and simple. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna pop these. Well, I'm gonna delete these two actually. Keep the source? No way. I delete everything. Oh wow. It just converts it to audio stream automatically. That's great. I want to listen to it. All right, nice. So what we're going to do here, the script just says function play audio, and it's going to get the audio name, and it's going to play it. And the way it does it is probably by just accessing it. I can always for loop through the children. I do want to make an index, actually, just in case it gets bigger. So on ready, it's going to probably make index. Var audio name to stream, which is going to be a dictionary of string to audio stream player, probably. Audio stream. What is it called? Change type. Audio stream player, yeah. It's going to be audio stream player. There you go. And then it's going to be a dictionary, and it's just going to go through for child and children. If child is audio stream player, then just put it in there. Audio name to stream, child.name, which will equal to the child as audio stream player, just in case the type gets messed up. And then it's just going to go boop, boop, get audio name play. I think something like that. It's going to be get children. Cool. So we have a play audio function. Goop says, oh, wait, you can type dictionaries now? I thought that was an upcoming feature. It's been a feature since 4.4. It was an upcoming feature when you were in 4.3, but 4.4 is out. So Demo says, sorry, I should have never mentioned pop. No, it's okay. No, this is a necessary change. I think this is a must, actually. Okay, I got to be honest with you. I haven't used global since I first started. Can I do global scene? Can't add auto invalid name. Must not collide with existing global script class name. How do I do this? Hold on. Node name. Oh, path. Can't add autoload. Invalid name. Must not collide with an existing global script class name. Oh, it can't have a name? That's lame. Interesting. Hi, Exodrifter. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. We're making some cute pop sounds. Not to be confused with pop sound as in pop music, but popping sounds. Okay, so we have autoload, global variable, and it's called audio manager. Does that mean I can just access it now anywhere? Is that true? Exodrifter says hi to the Goob. Goob says it'll use the file name as a class name. Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. Okay. We're about to pick up this item. Okay, so we were saying earlier, should the item detect the player or should player detect the item? And then I paused for a good 5 minutes, I think. Well, at least it felt like 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm texting. I paused because I was thinking the magnetism will change over time, right? If you upgrade, item collection could be part of the magnetism or upgrades. All right, hold on. Magnetism could be part of the upgrades that the player can experience. And in that case, do you implement it by increasing the area detection of the player? Or do you, another way is just keep the player area big, and then for all the items that are within the area, check the distance and only make it pick upable if it's within certain distance. Or magnetism is not a detection thing. So each individual items would check itself against the player and see if it's at a certain radius. And if it is, start being attracted. Okay. We could do it two different ways. We can have a two separate logic for pickup collision and magnetism collision. So magnetism collision on a player would only trigger the attraction. So the player would say, item 1, start being attracted to me based on the radius. And then the second collision would detect picking up. I think that's what I'm going to do. Extra Drifter says, classic OOP problem. Yeah, exactly. We're like, who gets the roll? Who gets the roll? And what's the right answer? Extra Drifter says, you can access it in Antarctica too. Is that true? Can I access it? What about Space Station? Can I access it in Space Station? The global? I'm just being silly here. Denimal says, if you did that, there would be a cool effect where the items start dragging towards you. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going to do a 2-level attraction here. We're going to have a item pickup area, as the player likes to call it. And then we're going to have a magnetism area. Magnetism. You know what's funny? I used to be really good at speaking. I used to not really stumble on my words, but as I get older, I think, I'm not sure what it is. I feel like I'm stumbling on my words more. Maybe I'm getting stroke. My English is definitely deteriorating as I age. I can affirm or confirm that at least. Okay, so Goop says, got a lurk. Time for meeting times. Oh, you're working? Lame. Extra Drifter says, yes. If you go to Sagittarius A, it will still work. Wow, Godot is really powerful. PM Teddy says, words are overrated, just make sounds, we'll understand. Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least I'm in I guess in a friendly environment if I don't speak perfectly, so to speak. But it's hard. I am super hungry. I was supposed to get coffee and breakfast before streaming, but I got caught up on things. So by the time I promised that I will be online, I was already I didn't have my food and coffee yet. So I decided that I was going to sacrifice my morning routine for y'all so I can keep my promise. PM Teddy says, just grunt. Goop says, not lame. I have my own business. Worth it. Oh, great. I want to have my own business. The way I'm keeping myself afloat right now, barely, is also pretty funny, I have to say. What's funny in that, well, I guess it's not that funny. It's desperate. It's interesting that how I've lost it as long as I have. Nothing short of a miracle, I always say. But hopefully, this content creation thing works out. Denimal says put. What? We're selling puts? Is that what we're saying? Oh, no. Okay. If you did the, Denimal says, I would put the collection on the player, but I would put the collection on the player, but I'd put the magnetism on the object. Interested. Why is it so hard? Let me get some water. I'll be back. Interested. Gosh. Maybe I do need food after all. I'm going to eat a banana. Danimal says, I messed him up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm broken. The Ezra machine, the Ezra AI has failed to run. I would talk with my mouth full, but I know there are some sensitivities out there. Anyways, Danimal says, I would put the collection on the player, but I would put the magnetism on the object. Interested to see how Ezra would do it. Can you actually hear me chew? I'm trying to be really quiet, but I guess I should be away from the mic. That is definitely not enough, but whatever. Daniel says, very slightly, it's not an ASMR level. That's good. Okay. I'm thinking that the player would trigger a magnetism because if the... So here's the thing. I don't want to have to make the area detection so big for each of the item. Because what's going to happen is that as the enemies pass through, the bigger this area is, more calculation I think that will happen. And as you can see in our little sample, which by the way, if you missed it earlier, we got a little animation going. Look. Boop. This one took a while to figure out. Oh my god, my cat wants to come in. All right, fine. You want to come in, Dingus? Do you? Come here. Come here. Yeah. Oof. This one is not as snuggly. This is Peach. A big one. No? Okay. See? There's nothing cool here. Get out of here. Go. Yeah, that one is not snuggly, but always wants to come in. PM Teddy says, you chew with your mouth closed, which is less annoying. Oh, that's good. Also said, oh, how cute. But yeah, you can see right here. Just imagine all the circles that, or all the detection each of the circles would be doing and processing and filtering out if it was huge, right? So if I wanted to do magnetism from the item's perspective, and if I say, hey, I want to make like screen size magnetism attraction, look what's going to happen here. I mean, alternatively, I could just make it so that there's no area of detection, but just do a for loop on each, maybe it's even compute processing on each of the object to just do a calculation, distance calculation, and then just attract them. But, you know, I'm going to use the area here. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to do the player character, and magnetism area radius probably will be a exportable player variable. I guess, I don't know, 100. Is 100 too big? I guess so. Let's start with 50 for now. And we're going to have Denimal says, going on lurk mode, got to program some automation to keep my job. Yes, keep your job. That is important. As much as I encourage people to do minimal amount of work, you do need to do work nonetheless. Okay. This one's going to be set up here. And then I think what I'm going to do is on set value here. We're probably going to say mag. Oh, I also pretty sure I am misspelling magnetism. Magnetism. Because like magnetic, right? Magnetism. I'm pretty sure it's magnetism. Magnet. Oh, it is right. Why does it look wrong? My eyes are tricking me. Magnetism radius would equal to the value here. And on this set, we definitely want to make it so that the collision shape, magnet collision shape 2D will get the value, proper value here. Parsing error. We'll get, I guess, the shape. And then we can get as circle shape 2D. Radius will be set to whatever this is. Hopefully that works. Radius. Boom. So it'll set the radius to match whatever value that we end up changing it to. Hopefully that'll work. And then we'll set it to 50 for now. We could also do that on ready. So that the initialization, whatever I end up setting up here, will be applied here in the beginning. Like so. Why does it... Oh, funk. All right, so that's good. We got the magnetic area thing going on. The logic of magnetism area, I think I'm going to probably keep it as its own script, honestly, because I'd imagine it's going to be multiple. I also don't know where I just saved it. Mag. Under character. Okay, that's not bad. We'll name this class name magnetism area. I just don't like the way that word looks for some reason. It just looks wrong. Am I crazy? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. So we're going to connect this, have it handle its own code, because we are all responsible adults. Little bit janky the way I'm going to do this. It's going to detect an area and it's going to check its parent, I think. And then we're going to check if the parent is part of MapItem. That's not going to detect it. So it's going to be like, hey, if area get parent is a MapItem, if that's the case, then get the item, which is MapItem. I think I want to trigger attraction, I think. Or start attraction. And I guess I should give it a player, but I think the player can be retrieved without actually passing anything. So I'm going to do that for now. Hopefully, I can see a potential issue with this approach, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We're going to add func start player attraction. Pretty sure I called it something else earlier. Player character. There you go. could not parse global class map item. Oh, it's because the map item is broken right now? Oh, because this is broken. Okay, that's good. When the attraction starts happening, probably going to find, I think player is a group. Yes. So we can grab the player's position easily. Yes. And then it's going to have attraction speed probably. On ready. We have velocity here. I wonder if I can reuse the velocity thing. This is the bounce, right? We're going to do the bounce velocity test here. Redraw the shadow. On ready var, or not on ready here. I think what I do need to do is attracting. And this should be set to true in this case. And when this happens, stop the spawning. So I'm going to do, this is a spawning section. If is attracting, we're going to do attracting logic here. Let's see. It's too bad that I'm reusing some of the variables multiple times, so it's going to make it a little bit complicated here, but I think we can make it work. First thing first, I got to get the player, which is a player character, which will be get tree, get nodes in group, and then it's going to be player, and a little bit bad, but it's definitely going to be just one element there. So we're going to grab its global position, but they're on the relatively same position. So we're probably going to do, say, have it go towards basically it. So my position, the player's position minus my position will be the vector of direction that I need to move towards, right? Var direction. My goodness. Stop it. Okay, I'm going to leave it open a little bit. This cat is way too curious and making a lot of noise. Must be bored. Okay. All right. So we have the distance diff. I mean, I think we can say attraction direction. And this will be a vector, and we can normalize this for an optimal thing. Normalized. I guess it could be like this. It doesn't like this, though. Oh, player. Player position normalize. But, okay. So it's vector 2. This is a direction. And I suppose the velocity we're looking for, that's the important one. Really depends on the speed. I have to think about this a little bit. Should the speed of attraction be constant? I think so. I don't want to overcomplicate this right now. So I'm going to say constant attraction speed. Speed. Let's call it, I don't know, 800 for now. And then we'll adjust it as we go. It might be a little too big, but basically what we want to do is we want to get that to move delta amount towards the attraction direction. So we're multiplying this vector by this magnitude. It'll move in that direction for that much amount. And that is the distance to travel. And that will... Though I don't know if we want acceleration instead of just going, whoosh, we want zoop, right? So it starts from 0 and then it gradually moves over. So it gets faster and faster and faster, I think. Is that wrong? I have a feeling if I do that, it's going to start circling the object, but we'll see. We'll see if it works. Okay, so instead, what we're going to do, instead of doing a speed, we're going to say attraction XL. For now, let's do 1,000. Not 10,000, 1,000. So that means we want to take the velocity, the current velocity, and then we're going to add to it the difference in velocity, which will be the attraction acceleration, and we increment it by the delta amount. And that's a constant number so far. And then we want to do that towards the direction of the attraction. So this will make it so that velocity increases or accelerates towards the direction of the attraction. So this will be the velocity. Nice. And then the velocity will be applied. The way we apply the velocity will simply be position is incremented by velocity times delta, right? Because that's the amount of movement that we want to make. I have a feeling this is going to go horribly wrong, but we will figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So let's see. We're going to set velocity here to be vector 2, 0, 0 for now. Let's have it trigger now. So it's already triggering on attraction. I'm going to do a little test collision shape on. Let's see how this goes. Oh, broken. Invalid access to property or key shape on base. Oh, no, object is null. That is because onReady has not been reached yet. That's fine. We can make it so that, I mean, there are a few ways to do it. I know people like to do the whole, like, if a node that I'm trying to change is ready, check, but I want to make sure that this change gets applied every time. So actually what I like to do, which is, like some people might be like, hey, that's like not cool, as in it's not very like efficient, but so far I haven't had any time with this. I feel like it's pretty smart about actually doing a operation when the value is not correct. So if it is dirty, then we're gonna do this thing. Oops. And then we just simply set is dirty to true on this one. That way I don't actually need to even do this, I think. Hopefully. All right. Start it. Oh, whoops. I meant is dirty and is node ready. Both. All right. Okay. Oh, movement's not working. Cool. Something is broken. I don't know what, but something is broken. Like something is looping forever? Or there's no error, no output. Rock salt. Start player attraction. None of these is happening, I don't think. Yeah, none of these are happening. Player character. Yeah, nothing's happening there. Why won't you move? Let's see. Let's see if it's even taking the input. Oh. I over... Whoops. Okay. I gotta do one of these things. Forgot. It's freaking out because a lot of the parental, like the base character functions has been turned off as soon as I overrode it. They need warning for overriding functions, I think. Okay, here you go. Kind of. It's definitely freaking out. I mean, the fact that it's not settling means it's doing something. I made it so that it's not being consumed, so... That one is running away. I mean, there's something happening. Let's see. I gotta find other rocks. Oh. This one is kind of running away, actually. It is forever traveling away. Come to me. Stones, come to me. Yeah. Oh, and I have one that's orbiting me, as I expected. Perfect. Okay. It's kind of silly. But conceptually, kind of. I need to figure out what's going on with some of these things. Just as expected. Look, I'm a little cell or some sort, or atom with electrons spinning around me. We got the small orbital. We got the big orbital. Look at that. Something's working and not working at the same time. That's for sure. I don't have to turn on the collision anymore. I do need to figure out what's going on with this. So we get the player, we get the player's position, and then we're subtracting it from the object's position. I thought the player lives on... Maybe instead of using the position, maybe I do global position differences so that it's more accurate. And then we're going to change its position based on that information. Hopefully that... I wonder if that's going to fix everything. I doubt it, but... That one... I do think what it's doing also is fighting its bounce with the attraction. I think it needs to finish bouncing first before it starts to attract. So we got to make it so that this only happens if it is not spawning at the same time. So let the spawning settle. Then if it is still attracting, then start moving it. So I want it to hit the 0 velocity before starting to attract. Because otherwise it's going to mess with all of the acceleration changing. There you go. Okay, good. I mean, this is much better. And it doesn't slow down near the player. That's why it's going to shoot past it. Yeah. Ooh, all right. Perfect. This is some sort of game mechanic, I think. I do think that the I need to make the shadow float up a little bit. So it looks like it's floating up. I'm going to do that actually. Like that. Okay, cool. Let's change the object. I'm getting distracted by the wrong part of the mechanic. PRC says, wow. Wow, it's a mess. I know. Okay, so the distance from the object is... whole shadow calculation happens via the distance from the object, and then I have this like starting position Y that gets changed. What I'm going to do here is when this first gets started, we're going to say starting position is position, and then we're going to make it so that starting position, Oh, actually, maybe I could even do this. Instead of starting velocity, I'm going to pop it up once. Where I go vector 2 is 0 and then pop it up with 100 velocity. So make it pop up. And then updating the initial position to be where it was. And then the starting position's Y position remains constant. So we're going to change the starting position's Y by the velocity. Y times delta. I think that'll work. So the goal is when it starts attracting, I want the rock to pop up and then have the little shadow underneath it so that it looks like it's floating up instead of gliding on the ground. Dynamo says, I wouldn't be able to fight the thought to see how many rocks I can get floating around me before the game crashes. I know, it's definitely tempting. Or before I actually start noticing. Okay, still? I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not floating. It's kind of annoying. Oh, I know what it is. All right, let's see. We want the starting position. Oh, yes, starting position Y to be always. How about we make it so that starting position Y is always below position Y. Whatever position Y it is, it'll be... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. Equals vector 2. No, it doesn't matter, actually. Starting position Y would be position Y plus 100. That's too much, but I want to see what it does. And then change the number as I go. Okay, that's not floating up, definitely. Position Y plus 100. That means starting position is all the way down here. I want to see... Oh, that's because it's not redrawing. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to have to change this logic real quick. Do this. There you go. So that it redraws the shadow every time. Boom, boom. Okay. All right. I got you. Feels a little laggy. Where's the shadow? Where's the shadow? It's also lagging a little bit, I think. Can't really tell because of all the objects that are moving. All right. 100 is a lot. Let's do position 10. There it is. Oh, beautiful. Okay. 10 is a little bit more acceptable. Maybe 8 even. 4. I kind of liked the 10 and 8. There you go. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Look at us make progress. Dental says, could it be off the screen? Yeah, I think it was. 100 was a little bit too much. There you go. Yeah. Oh, you brought the fish to me? Oh, it is off. You want it to be turned on? This thing is, it moves when you touch it. And my big cat, which is, her name is Peach, has been waking us up every morning with this. So I turned it off. But she brought it saying like, turn this on, please. All right, ready? Get it. There you go. She likes to play fetch. Anyways, all right. It's kind of working. Woo, okay. Obviously it has some issues, which is the shadow and the sprite is on the same drawing plane. So sometimes the shadow draws over the rock. I would say that's a minor issue. I don't know if it'll ever reach me at this point. It's become an orbiting nightmare. Why does it not come to me? Oh, there it is. I guess. Danimal says perfect. Do I have to increase the acceleration over time? Because I know the velocity changes, but the problem with the velocity changing on the acceleration is that it is literally centripetal force. So we're simulating planetary revolution here. So I do want it to spiral in. Like, it needs to spiral in. Like, I need to make it so that it never reaches escape velocity. It'll always be perpendicular to the movement unless the movement is a certain way. I guess. I suppose if the acceleration gets stronger and stronger. Danimal says the idea is that once it's attracted, then it'll go poof. So the shadow drawing on top of rock probably won't be noticeable. Yeah, I think it won't be that noticeable enough for me to really worry about it. But it is a bit of a concern that there are objects that's going to be just floating around infinitely. So we definitely want to make sure that the attraction acceleration is a variable. So this is a starting, because we're basically saying we're going to increase the force as the time goes on. So we can start by 1,000, but maybe we increase it. Oh gosh. Hold on. Before I do this, because there's a problem here, which will be there's going to be a lot of implementation that I won't be able to test with. So I'm going to first make sure that the items gets picked up and goes away. So item is starting the attraction, and what they're going to do here is where is it? This pickup area, the item will detect the player individually. So the player's magnetism detected. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I'm going to do the players still. Okay, item pickup area. Here we are. Okay, so you're going to go here. All right, item's going to detect the area here. I don't know if I should do it in its own thing. I think I'm going to do it its own thing here. Item pickup area. Class name item pick up area. My only thing is that it's going to have player information, which kind of sucks to do this way, but it's okay. And on area entered, because it's going to be other items that's going to be entering this area, it's going to do the whole checkup thing again. This thing, and if it's detected, what we're going to say is item, we're going to free this guy real quick, item Q free, and then we have to increment the count. Did you just drop this? By the way, I have a little cool helmet that I have no use for it. I don't know how that dropped. The ghost. Okay, so it's definitely maybe I make it so that it just disappears for now. I'm gonna just free it, no counting here, and then I will. Oh, make a sound, audio. What was the name of it? Manager. play pop 1 or something like that, right? Oh, it's a capital letter. I guess I should lowercase it, doesn't matter. Child name to lower. Or it doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, do this. Audio name, we're going to lowercase. Boom. Hopefully that will work. Player character, the item gets picked up, it gets freed, and then play a sound. I just want to hear the satisfaction or satisfying sounds that happens. Maybe initially the player character's attraction is smaller. Let's make it so that magnetism radius is like 20 instead. Okay. So we're gonna level 1. The animal says spooky time to make a horror game. Oh. Doesn't like. Non-existent function play. Oh. Is it not called play? I'll play audio. This is lame. Just call it play. There you go. I mean, it feels more intuitive. Okay. Let's make sure the audio is on here. Hopefully it's not too loud. Oh. Uh-huh. A little loud right now in my ear, but it's okay. But it does seem like I do have this issue with forever orbiting items. Wait, why is it not going all the way out there? I think the attraction... Yeah, orbiting is a problem. Also, I feel like it's not bouncing far enough. Now it's just doing bouncing in place instead. So immediately when it spawns, it's going to trigger this. Oh, this is going to be the issue, huh? Okay. Let me think about this. It's going to do this. The spawning needs to be done before all of this happens. I think... Here, let me do this instead. This might be better because I'm messing with some of the initial velocity. There you go. It's a little bit more organized. Okay. A little bit better. Still, there's one thing. What's happening right now is as it spawns, it gets triggered with the magnetism. I need it to trigger after it has dropped instead of... so even if it goes far away, it gets attracted. Anonymo Production says, hello, Ezra. Hello, Anonymo. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to lower the volume here real quick on the little sound effects. Okay, what we're going to do here now is the player, this trigger thing, probably should wait until it's done spawning. So... Or not even, actually. I'm going to give it an opportunity for it to exit the area. So if the items exit the area, we're going to say... No. But then once I trigger the attraction, it needs to keep at it. Okay. logic here. Magnetism triggers when it enters the magnetism area, but not when it is okay, got it. We got to do it the other way. The magnetism needs to be triggered by the object. I think Denimal was saying this earlier too. And I think that's right. Because the state of being attracted is not a state that's controlled by the player, but is controlled by the item itself. The item needs to be aware of what state they're in before being able to go into the magnetism mode. So actually, when it settles down, it needs to see if it has overlapping area. And once it settles down, as soon as it detects overlapping area that is a player, or overlapping body that is a player, it needs to start being attracted, I think. Anonymous says, wow, nice mic, very crisp. Mine is very static, and when I see the VODs, lol. I appreciate these info breakdowns. Yeah, no problem. Mic setting is kind of tricky. If it is staticky, usually you have because there's other monitor. You have a lot of electronics that are interrupting your audio signal. Also, it could be that your diaphragm is a little too wet. You got to make sure that you get that nice and dry. What else? I mean, those are my experiences. Or you got to override the static sound by getting really close to the mic, I think. Anyways, okay, so we're going to detach this real quick. What I'm going to do instead... No. You know what? I'm gonna redo this. There's a little bit of confusion here. Because if I do the other way, where the item is detecting it, then I have to do a lot of work to figure out, is this a magnetism area? Is this a player? And all those things. So let's do something else. When things enter the area, it's going to try to start player attraction regardless of what do you call, if it's exited before or not. So we're going to disconnect, oops, not all. We're going to disconnect this real quick. And the responsibility to trigger is attracting is up to the state of this. So it doesn't even have to worry about this because it won't even trigger until it's done. Now, what's going to happen is that when it exits, it's not going to be attracted because that flag has not been set, right? Because it was spawning. And then when the player gets closer, then it gets triggered. Even if I run away from the attraction, it's going to stay on until it gets consumed. All right, this is exactly what I want, I think. Ava Sarah says, hey, how's it going? It's going well. We're making our little game. It's our little free asset versus pay asset challenge. And we're making these little rogue-like dungeon crawler where we're crawling into the cave for mining. And we're just testing things out. And we're making it so that we can pick up these items. And it's making that satisfying little sounds, which is nice. Okay. Anonymous says, I think it's just because it's the one from the 10-year-old has... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's probably just peaking then. Anonymous says, how's development been going? How long have you worked on this for? I think this particular project, we've been on it for, I don't know, a week now. We started last week. The whole premise is that I want to make a YouTube video on making games with free asset versus paid asset, because I never done pre-made assets before and a lot of people are curious, so I wanted to try that out. So I'm in the process of trying it out. And we're done with the game design. We decided we're going to make a roguelike mining game, kind of like Enter the Gungeon, Hades, but it's about mining and dodging little obstacles. So here we are. We made some room generation thing to have some default rooms here. We're working with the character control with the controller, and then item spawning. So we just got that going. It's pretty satisfying. I like it. Okay. So item is set up. Some of the rooms can be spawned. Some of the objects can be broken. I guess I could make the next step, which is when things get attracted, and disappears, which is under, I want to say player character. When item gets picked up, we want to increase the item count, right? And I think the ownership of the item can be within the player. So I'll keep the count in the player. And then the UI component can listen to that variable. So we'll say bag, I guess. We'll have a variable called bag, which is a dictionary of probably string to count, right? And we just simply func add to bag item name, and then we'll just go bag item name plus equals 1. And another thing is if bag has item name, then bag, well, when I say has, I mean doesn't have item name, then bag item name will be 0 first so that it can be incremented. And on pickup, I'm a little bit scared about the parallel structure of this code execution if there's any racing condition, but I think it's okay. Add to bag, and we'll add specifically the name of the item. And I don't think I can take the node name. We got to take the item name. So for this one, we'll say the map item is going to have an export variable that says item name, which will be string. In this particular case will be rock salt is a readable name. And technically I want to do this not as instantiated, but you know, it's okay. We'll deal with life here. And then we'll go boop, boop, boop. Item. We're adding the item called item get or item name. There you go. And it's going to increment it in the level itself. This is level 1. So this doesn't really do anything. But what I can do, I guess maybe it is. Here, I'll add a canvas item here. Canvas item or canvas layer, which will have some UI stuff. And for this particular one, I think on the top left corner, we'll have little icon for the rock salt and then the number to count with it, which will be, I guess, something box. Container. That should be probably flow container, but let's do flow container. Flow container. And then this will be alignment begin. Layout, we're going to fill the top completely. Top wide. There you go. And then minimum height will be 100 pixel, or maybe it's like 80 pixel more like. And within it, I'm going to add a HBox container that's going to be a salt counter. And it'll have label, and it'll have a texture rect. Right here, it's going to take the item from map cave is one of these things. I need to use region of this, so I probably need to do atlas texture. So we're gonna just get the cave object in here, and then we're gonna grab the region that is just this right here. Boom. And then keep size, keep size. I don't know what this little dark corner is. Oh, that's the skybox. Okay. I don't know what that means, but it's okay. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4. Not going to worry about the font yet. I wonder if I can center this, actually. Let me see if I can. Center. Keep size. I wonder if it's under container sizing. Center. There you go. Cool. We're going to have these, some numbers. We'll probably shift this a little bit. I don't know if that will do anything, but because I don't want it to be flush against the wall like that. So I'll do some of these things. And then 40, let's say 40 is probably better. Transform top wide. Oh, do top wide here. Let me redo that. Top wide, and then we're going to transport it down a little bit, and we'll fold it in a little bit. Like so. Okay, and then I got to make sure that this listens to some information here. We got to make some updates so that the player information is given to the UI. So the level spawns the player. Oh, where is it? Player here. I guess technically I could just do it this way where I go sol counter script. It can be responsible for its own thing. And it can be under UI. Sol counter GD is okay. And then have it salt counter. And then on process, it'll just simply go label text equals var player, which will be player character. And I can just grab that as from the tree. Luckily, get nodes, so I don't have to do any like variable passing. As player character, and then I can go boop boop. Bag get rock salt like that, and then that's going to be a count. So I'm going to make it into a string, integer to string. And all of this probably should only happen. Oh, there you go. Label text. Name text called as function, but is a string. Oh, there you go. I'm pretty sure it's going to have some ready issue. On ready issue. So we're probably going to say excuse me. I should probably have some default value here to start with. Player character. I guess if the count doesn't exist, it should be considered 0. So if player bag has rock salt, then we're gonna do this. Otherwise, it's gonna be set to 0. And then hopefully that'll start counting. Level 1. So. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, not counting. It's not counting. Unless I'm doing the counts wrong. I want to see player character here real quick. Let's see what's in the bag, shall we? Oh. Case sensitive. Well, hello there. Okay. So when item is being added, I want to say item name should probably be lowercase, I think. Right? To lower. Yep. And then I suppose when I'm searching for it in the UI, that's fine, whatever. Okay, let's see if that works now. Oh, 3. I got 3 out of there. I need more. Give me more rocks. It's somewhere. Ah. Okay. I think the player's consume circle is a little bit too big. I want it to be smaller. So I'll make the consume circle to be slightly smaller. So it has more opportunity to spin around. Magnetism can be 25, I think. Yeah. I think that's pretty good so far. No? Nice. Okay. All right, now we actually need to generate room. That means I need better walls. Okay. Sick. Maybe it should be 10 each. 10 points each instead of it being we'll see. Doesn't matter. Okay. Because I think people like seeing big numbers. So we can do big number, but that's a later issue. What's next? Okay, we got the item. We got the busting of the rocks on the level. I think I do want to make sure that the dimension is a little bit smaller. I think it's a little bit too big, honestly. 100 by 100 is kind of huge. So let's get a smaller area. And then next I need to spawn walls, I think. Walls and caverns so you can actually navigate through. So some generation here. We got some veins here. Almost there. There you go. Fun. Okay. It's kind of satisfying. I think that's a good start. Next up. Let's think. Room generation. So we already have a generation logic where it pops in the room. We got to do the wall generation thing. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know if I want to make it so that just connect the rooms that have been spawned or include... You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to see if I can get a sensible map in here with walls, proper walls. Because I really don't like any of these things. And the walls feel kind of ugly. Like, these are bad walls, I feel. Like, how am I supposed to use this? Like so. Then go on the second layer, I guess. Just like that. I don't know. Feels bad. I mean, I guess if it's on the second layer, it wouldn't be too bad. So if I have layer, I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to do something else here. Use a different asset. Because let's see if what this looks like. Hello? Why won't you draw? Why is it not drawing? Oh. Paint tile's not working. It's requesting the paint. Oh, okay, it's there now. Weird. Okay. I want to see if this feels better. Wait, what's going on? Oh, there you go. Wait, why won't you draw all of a sudden? Oh. Oh, okay. The tile order made it so that it doesn't show up. Elementary mistake. Okay. Because I want to see what this looks like. The dark part needs to be transparent, that's for sure. I wonder if that makes it better. Sleepy Dragon says, new here, what's the elevator pitch for your project? It's a dungeon crawling mining game that's a roguelike. Inspired by Enter the Gungeon and Hades. Same thing, you have hub level for overall upgrade, and then you have runs like typical roguelike dungeon crawlers. It's focused on mining. So you're basically going around mining rocks as you go down deeper in level for different materials. You have a choice to use those resources to craft to help you with the run, or you send it over to the hub to upgrade later for the next run. And upgrades include stuff like blueprints, right? So that you have more stuff to craft. Or you could even send up the items that you've created and the part of the run to use for the next one. But essentially roguelike miner. But mainly I started this game project because I'm trying to test out the, what do you call? Free asset versus paid asset project video. So that's what we're doing. Another thing is there's some interesting mechanics, I think, with different materials. Like we got the hardness of the materials. We got some secret rooms, just like the dungeon crawlers that exists all over the place. So yeah, it's pretty exciting for me. I think I need to use this, honestly, and then maybe put these like rock structures on top of it. I don't know if I like this like black stuff. I wonder if I need to use that. I'm going to do a little test wall here real quick. So if I have a wall, let's say I make a room here. Wait, why is this invisible? Wait, since when was this invisible? Oh, it's not invisible. It's just the color. Okay. I'm going to turn this off because it's confusing. So I'm going to delete this. Let's say I have something like this. This. I don't know. Like that, I suppose. For example, if I have a room like this, the walls would look something like, probably like right here. This is right there. Wait, no, it needs to curve down like this, which means it's this. There you go. Okay, this is not bad, actually. If I use this as a wall, it might not be too terrible. I might have to attach additional things, but we might be able to work with this, potentially. It's not as bad as I thought it is. It's curving this way, which is this one. Then curving down. I guess it's more like this. I guess it has all the necessary parts for it, at least. That's what I'm seeing. Hold on. This one is... this one right here. There you go. It's a little bit confusing to figure out what all needs to happen, but it's workable. It's workable. That's what it comes down to. Like that. Okay. Not bad. There needs to be a connector though. This like little band to top is just one of these. I guess that's okay. You know what? I'll just do this. I'll work with this. Sleepy Dragon says, sounds fun. Good. I mean, I'm kind of excited. It was a pretty fun idea to brainstorm, I think, when we were coming up with the idea. Okay. So the goal is basically, if it is surrounded by 4 walls or 6 directional wall, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 8, I guess one. Yeah. Then it's this. And depending on where it's being surrounded, we choose different tiles for this. I do wonder if I do, what do you call the tile set terrain set, if it's going to auto tile it or if I have to do manually as well. Ooh, yeah. There's a transparent version right here. I think that could work. There's some missing things, but I think we can work with it. All right, I'm going to take a little bathroom break. I'll be back. Just to mute here. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I washed my hands, I swear. Nothing more suspicious than somebody saying I wash my hands when you didn't ask them. But that's how it goes, I think. Okay. First thing first, I think I need to generate these tunnels and rooms. I don't know if I want to. I'm going to do one thing first. So I'm already spawning these rooms in. I want to first make it so that they are, connected. So over here, I'm already doing that thing where I'm clearing the ground. Tile map layer. I'm going to say wall layer. And we're going to add walls everywhere. We're not going to worry about the graphic parts yet. There you go. So we have wall layer for the thing. And basically, excuse me, we are going to fill up all of the walls with the wall source, which is, I think, was it? What's the source name of this one? This is source ID 3 and then 1, 1. LS coordinate 1, 1. So we're going to say source ID 3, atlas coordinate 1, 1, and fill up everything with this. And then we're going to remove it, clear the cell, if the room gets spawned on top of it, like so. So it's going to clear away everything that is not the room. And I will make it so that the collision, I'll set the collision up so that you can't pass through any of these things. So we'll add a physics layer or collision layer, I think. Collision layer, yeah. So we're going to go boop, paint. Maybe not a paint, but we'll select and create collision here. McCoy says, I forgot you went live. No, it's okay. I know you're busy with the whole internship and schools and stuff. It's understandable. No need to worry. I'm not cruel. Okay. Let's say that's it for that one. For this one, I'll say from here. I wish it would snap. Or not grid snap. How about half pixel snap? There you go. Oh. Can I have a snap to pixel instead of half pixel? That seems a little silly. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And we're going to just move it around. Okay, next. Can I only do this like one at a time? This one's easy. Just add 4 corners here. Let's change this. Cool. Okay, this one's going to be easy too. Boom. This one. Little manual Manual steps. Nothing like a good old manual work here. This one's gonna get the pixel here. Okay. Potentially this should have been the first thing I have. This should have been the first thing I did when I imported the tiles, but technically I wasn't sure if I was going to use this tile or not. So I have some excuse for myself. It wasn't entirely lack of responsibility and procrastination. There was a sense of reason when I did that, you know. But yeah. I mean, I'm almost tempted to make the whole thing not accessible, but I know that could be a little too restricting. We want a fair collision box, I think. Okay. Ooh, that is not what we wanted to do. Oh. Oh. I gotta say, this is not the easiest part of development for sure. This is actually very difficult and tedious, unfortunately. My hope here is that I don't have to make any edits for this pixel art. Okay. Add one more thing. Boop, boop, boop. Doesn't look good, but I guess it'll have to be what it is. Oops. Oh my goodness. Can I get more space here? There's just not enough space up here. A little annoying. I suppose I could be a little bit more precise for this one. That's a little okay. Okay. This one's going to be a little different again. Go boop, 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 boop. Get this down here, down here, down here, into the corner. All right. Okay. At least I finished this part, which was very time consuming. I do think this means when I launch it, I'll be able to be in the room, but not outside the room. So yeah, I'm stuck here. Oh. Wait, what? Why won't it let me go beyond this? Huh, hold on. I gotta turn on the collision. Yeah, what is this? What is this collision box? What am I being restricted to? Is it in the room? Nope. That mystery collision is coming from nowhere, I feel. I wonder if I painted something by mistake. Appropriate. Free to move. Yeah, I'm not sure. Huh. Where's that bottom part coming from? Oh no. I suppose... okay. Well. It's kind of annoying. I'm also realizing that there's an issue with the item not being a rigid body now, and I'm doing the simulated physics. It's not going to interact with collisions correctly because we're not doing the move and slide thing. I might have to change that. But that's not my issue. Right? Not now, at least. I am curious why it's spawning that little block, though. Not sure what that's about. Like what that little collision box is. Physics layer. There's nothing that fills up except the little dark thing. Unless I'm spawning the thing. Wall map. We're doing source 311 and we're getting rid of it for the spots. And when it's removed, I don't know. I forgot which is which, actually. I don't remember which is the collision layer. So one thing that I can think of for items later is making it so that the maps have collision layer 1 and 2, and items are only collision layer 2. So items interact with the map, but not with the player. I mean, that's pretty simple. So I'm not worried about that, but I am annoyed by this random wall that's blocking my way down here. And I don't know where it's coming from. Not really sure. I'm hoping that this mystery will be solved. But I can see also on the other rooms right here that the same thing is happening on the edges of these rooms. So is that because... Oh, wait, but hold on. But like if it is collidable, like... Oh, I see. I'm not clearing it out appropriately. Okay. I think it's off by one error. So we have a size. We actually need to do it by size plus 1 for some reason. I'm not sure why. Because in is inclusive. Or this just means that I've configured wrong size. I think it might be that might be what that means actually. I assigned wrong size for the rooms. So let's see. Room here, spawn room. We said spawn room is size 9 and 7. Well, in reality it is... It is 8 and 7. So that's already wrong. This should be 8 and 7. Oh, it's actually, but then this is 0 index, isn't it? So it should be 9 and 8. And then other rooms like craft room, this one is actually, let's see. This is 10, 11 by 11. So it should be 11 by 11. That's why. Okay, so I set the size wrong. That makes sense. So it's not clearing it. And the wall's not showing up because it's below the room layer, which I guess is something I need to fix. Should be on the ground layer, I think. And then a little vein as well. This one, let's see, needs to be 9 and 8. 9 and 8. There you go. Okay. At least that's going to fix the collision little sliver that I'm getting. Yep. There you go. I can move around freely. Okay. Cool. I think right now the sizing is being done by Square only, and that's an issue. I want to be able to set up the room in any shape I want, and the whatever is not being filled needs to be filled with what do you call the ground layer. So I need to think on this. Because if I'm just painting based on the room configuration, then it's simpler. But right now, that's not what's happening. Yeah. The room shape is being assumed to be square. It doesn't work well with irregular room shape. I'm gonna have to define it myself. That's an issue. How do I approach this? The room configuration. Do I even care though? Let's say the room configuration. I can shape it however I want. And instead of detecting the size and using that to clear things out, I can instead, starting from the position, sweep the room thing. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. Instead of clearing out a square area in the given size, I'm going to sweep the room map. And so the room's going to have a function, actually, the base room. I don't know what this is about, which will be func is empty cell. And it's going to be given a vector, 2i, for grid position. And it's just simply going to check the base, middle, and top to see if there's anything. Get cell atlas coordinates for grid position. And it'll return if this is empty, which is equals vector 2i, -1, -1. And it's only empty if all the layers, the middle, top, and bottom, returns a coordinate that is -1. So we're going to do this again here for the top. Hopefully that works. I think I have to put this like that. I think I can continue like this. Oh. Need this. Okay. So I have is empty cell check for each of the rooms for a given position, for a given grid position. And during the clearing out steps here, Something is broken though. I already fixed those. Okay. So during the clearing out, instead of clearing out the whole square, given the size for each of the cell and the size, the X, so we're going through the size of the room from the starting position. We're going to say, I guess whatever room is responsible, huh? We have, okay, wait, so we're going to have to clear cell for area is going to be instead clear cells for, clear cells for room. And we're going to have room, which is base room, and starting, well, starting position is given by the room's position. And then size is given by the room, I think. So we can do this. So we're going to call this instead on the room, which is this one right here, the room that's being placed. Like so. Picked grid position is going to be room's position. Yep. Starting position right now is going to be room's position divided by cell size, probably. Yeah. And then room size is going to already be there. Cool. So instead right here, the size will be room size. And then for the starting position, our starting position will be room's position divided by cell size, which in this case is 16 by 16. I suppose we should give it a constant instead. Cell size right now is going to be vector 2 I of 16 by 16. If we change the cell size, we can change that later. Okay. We do that real quick. That's going to be the starting position. We got to convert that to vector 2i. So we can do vector 2i of this. I think. Cell size not declared in the current scope. I already did that. What's the current issue? Inval operands vector 2 and vector 2i are for division. I guess I should do the... well, this should work. Vector 2 and vector 2i for division. Not sure why that doesn't work, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. Doesn't like applying invalid operands float. Weird. Denimal says, don't worry, I'm back. Well, welcome back. I know that we're going from float to integer. It just doesn't like what we're trying to do here. It's got no vision. Well, I mean, it had no complaint doing this, I think. Vector 2 and 2i for division. What the heck are you talking about? Systems EA says vector 2 room dot position cell size. Okay, well, I have a question though. Because this is a float position, but if I convert it to vector 2i first, wouldn't it round it down first? Because I want to do the division first, oh, you know what? Okay. It's because this is vector 2i. I see. So what I actually want to do, because I want to do the division first, then round down. I didn't realize this was not a constant. For some reason, I thought this was a constant. Why? I don't know. So actually, what I want to do is one of these things. So do a floating point division, then convert that into 2i. But yes, system, thank you. Room position vector 2 or something like that. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I do have to convert back to vector 2i. But basically, I'm making this to a more precise floating point. Do the division, then rounding it back down. All right. Over here, instead of all of these fancy stuff, what I want to do instead is for the room, I'm going to ask, hey, is the cell empty for a grid position, which is x and y, actually. Vector 2i of x and y, because it goes from 0, 0 to whatever. And this is a room shape. And if the cell that I'm about to check is not empty, then clear that cell out instead. So now, hopefully I'll do a little bit of tests here. I'll create a, I'll do a vein here. And the vein, let's see. So I'm just going to draw some grounds here. We'll draw some irregular shape, you know, whatever that is. Let's say this is what I do. And I'll move some of these things over here. I guess I'll spread it out. I'll spread the love. Move it over to here. And I'll just I'll create another collision shape. I don't know if it can handle multiple collision shape, but right now that's not what I'm testing, so I'm just gonna do it. Not too worried about it. Let's say this is what I want. The reality doesn't really matter, but let's say that's what I do. Level 1 here. I have inserted that already. So when it's spawning, I should see the, oops, okay. Oh, it's not called size. It's probably called room size or something like that. Yeah. And then something else breaks, which is great. We're making progress here. Out of bounds, get index 0. Yes, of course. This is already running. I think this should only happen. Well, whatever. So I don't have to indent anything. All right. Some collision. I want to. I can't see the other room. I guess I gotta make it so that the vein is the spawning room, huh? Level 1. Change the spawn room to be stone vein. Hopefully this just works. I know there's multiple of it. Okay, that's not what I said. Hello? Starting room. Oh, it's not being used. Why is it not being used? I thought I did that. Add player, instantiate. Player position is spawn room. Oh. Starting room. There you go. Weird. Sometimes I don't add features until later, I guess. Okay. It's working, I think. Not really. Okay, so I see that the collision hasn't cleared out. Oh, that's because, okay, well, that makes sense. That's because I didn't put the right size for the room. It is, what is it? Over here, which is 21 by, what is that? 21 by 13. So I got to do 21 by 13. And then if I do this, yes, okay. I can't fit in there because my guy is a little bit too big, but it's okay. It's working. What I'm trying to work is working. The whole clearing the wall out for the areas that the rooms are spawning. There's a little bit of homework I need to do in terms of the item bouncing off of the wall, but it's not bad enough that it's bothering me. So that's good. That's good. It's working. Okay. So walls have been spawned. Next thing I need to do is I need to create a path between the rooms. That's the hard part. I just need to make sure everything is connected at least. Do I just connect the adjacent rooms? And then not worry about having a long way to connect to other things? I suppose I should. First, I think what I'm going to do is try to carve a path out to each room. Too bad I can't just like zoom out and see what that looks like. But yeah. Carve a path out to each room. Well, if it's 20, 20, 20, and then 5, 5, that's about area of 200, 200, 200, 6, 800. This is about right size, I think. I just need to make sure the path gets carved out between the rooms. Do I know what I'm going to do there? I have no idea, actually. And I'm going to have to figure that out. And I have no answer. The problem with just carving a straight path out, it's not going to be natural looking. I might have to add some randomization as I'm carving the path, but it's okay. Let's do that. So here we're going to set all the rooms down. Now we have all the rooms. And we're going to have to carve a path between closest rooms, I think. In either direction, I guess. Which is hard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could do a pathfinding algorithm from one center of one room to the other. Then it's going to draw a straight line towards the other room. Unless I purposely make it go around every now and then. Unless I put obstacles on purpose to avoid. I'm not sure I'm going to do that, actually. I mean, do I need to know where the edges of the rooms are? and say only start the pathing from the edges, the intended doors of the room. So I can say for each of the room, look at the door location, and from there, draw a line towards the other door. But that's still a line, right? I mean, the simplest way to do it is to line them up like this. Like Enter the Gungeon does, right? Because the way Enter the Gungeon handles it is that each room has its own block, and then the other rooms are supposed to be, they have a assigned location that they can be connected to, I think. And I'm pretty sure they have logics like, oh, if you're connecting door left with door left, use this formation. And typically they're kind of straight lines up and down, right? Actual Cannibal Panda says, that's how WoW caught bots at one point. Put an object where the bots would walk in a straight line, then bend the people stuck on the... I mean, that's clever. I mean, that works for that reason. I'm catching my own bot here. Carving out the path. I mean, you know what? Like, I feel like I need to carve out the path first to say that I know how to do it. Like, and then it works before I can think about making it pretty, all pretty like. Unless I'm making it so that the walls are breakable in general, which can be pain in the butt. Like, why? If you don't know where anything is, breakable wall feels restricting, no? Actual Cannibal Panda says functional reform. Yeah, exactly. All right. Then I'll do it. I'll just make a straight shot between the rooms that are adjacent to each other. I mean, adjacency is another rule where it's like, how do you determine if the rooms are next to each other versus not? I guess that could be like, oh, when you're comparing to the center of all the other rooms, connect yourself to the two closest room. Yeah. And then I can hash. You know what? It doesn't matter. Yeah, I can do that. Hold on. What if it's already connected? I don't want it to carve out a new path if the room is already connected. Because I wanted to prioritize using a path that's already been connected. You know what? Whatever. I'm just going to do it. All right. I'm thinking way too much here. So for each of the rooms, El Solom says, I had the same issue with making a procedural map and just fell back on noise map. I learned a lot, but yeah, it's a brain buster trying to think about all the different ways they connect. Yeah, exactly. I mean, noise, like the Perlin noise does a really good job of making this like natural cave looking holes. But my problem right now is that I actually want to insert very specific type of rooms as part of this noise. So I guess I could do the noise and see if I can fit, like anytime I see a big area just fit this thing, that might be better. But what if I don't want any noise? What if I want it to be like 100% procured? Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a doozy. I gotta say, it's not easy. I just can't tell if I should give a very specific determination on how the walls open up. Probably not. I'm just going to do it. From the center of the room, do a grid search towards somewhere else and carve out a path. Carve out the wall to those places. Yeah. And it's okay if it's going through, because I'm just clearing the wall. It's okay if it's going through other room, right? Yeah, I think so. El Solon says, yeah, I don't know. I thought about that for weeks, lol. Even with auto tiling, you're forced to do all the path yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a challenge, but I think I'm just going to draw. I'm not going to even worry about closest room. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to carve out a path. Oh, thanks for the follow, Anonymous Production. I'm just going to carve out a path from one room to another. Just straight up. Yes. and then see what happens. We're gonna carve out a path for each. Okay. So each room is going to connect to two other rooms. And then we're going to change the rules. Because I know it's going to look ugly, but I can't just visualize it. It's so hard to like visualize what's happening without actually seeing. Also, I have no idea how I'm going to draw the minimap. Like, is it going to be another tile? I'm sure there's like a logic for it, but that's another answer I need to give myself, or question I need to ask myself. So for each of the room, we're going to just connect it to two other rooms randomly. How do I make it so that it's not an n squared operation? I guess I could just pick. So for each of the rooms, I think, that's being created. Oh, I guess we already have it created. Do the rooms have... Yes, rooms do have a group. So I can say for room that's existing in here, room in get tree, get nodes in group, and call it room. For each of the room, we already have this, so we're gonna also do one of these things. For should I do index? I guess I should do index, huh? Let me do index. So var rooms will be this. I in rooms.size. And then hello. Pick random. I can do pick random, but I don't want to. I want to avoid the index. That's why I did it in the first place. So I can do. El Solom says, knowing a more experienced programmer and game designer has this issue makes me feel better, but I know your pain. Yes, we are all one in our pain. I mean, the fact is that I know some techniques that people use, but also I don't know if I want to stick with that or not, you know? And it's the discovery, so we'll see. And also, it's not a kind of problem that I face every day either, so I have no idea how I'm anticipating this. So for each of the room, I'm going to choose a random room and have it connect to that room. Yeah? Okay. And then we're going to avoid choosing itself. So if we do range of rooms size, we're probably going to do -1 of that. And then we're going to pick random. I mean, we could also shuffle. I think range does it so that it includes 0, right? It starts from 0. Yeah. And var random index, which will be an integer. And a little operation here that's going to do something different is if random index is greater than equal to I, then random index is going to be incremented by 1. And then we're going to grab our connecting to equals, and if it's already connected, it doesn't matter, you know. Only thing is that it's probably guaranteed not to be connected. Like some of the rooms are just going to be isolated, but I'm going to worry about that after I do this one first. PM Teddy says, I'm way too dumb to have any say in this, but can't you load in scene collections at random places? So you pre-make rooms, even connected ones, and then load the scene collection randomly. Or are we not talking about that? So, no, you're right, PM Teddy. I think that's a good approach. I think that might be easier. It's just, I haven't decided if I want a random configuration that is outside of pre-assigned rooms. Because I want to be able to do this, right? So this stone vein, right? Instead of pre-setting it like this, I might even say have a generate function where I have a specific logic for generating this type of room. But nothing more than that. So in a level, I am providing which rooms to provide and how many of them to spawn potentially. And maybe I can add little like percentages. And I want only these things to be the spawn, and everything else is just kind of like connected. Originally, it wasn't as much of a problem because I was saying, oh, you can carve out your own path, which I guess is fair. Maybe you could carve out your own path. Okay. Yeah, what if I hit something and then the wall just goes away? And then I can just... Then this like whole needing to connect things is not as important. Anyways, okay, cool. Rooms, random index will be some other room that it's going to connect to. Let's see. We're going to get this current room. Var current room will be the I, and then we got the room that we're connecting to. PM Teddy says true and gives a player more freedom to, which is nice. Yeah, and also an opportunity to discover things that are not... Like if you explore more, you're more likely to discover things. And I can put rules like, oh, make sure certain rooms are always this many units away from the player and stuff like that. That could be fun. Let's see. Current room equals room. Connecting room is room. So we're connecting 2 rooms randomly. PM Teddy says, will you have sort of fog of war? At this point, fog of war... I should. I think I should. I added these like area thing so that I can make it dark until a connection happens and player comes into this area. Room area. So it lights up once the player comes into the room area. That was the logic that I was thinking of originally. I'm not 100% sure anymore, but I still want to do that if I can help it. So we're going to say connect rooms, current room to connecting to. And this one, I guess this could be this. So we can say func connect rooms, I guess path size. Let's say 3. We'll do 2 and 4. How about that? From, which is base room, 2, which will be also base room, min path size, and next path size, like so. Ava Sarah C5 says, what do you as a game dev usually do on a typical day? Just wondering. The day in life of game dev. If I were any other game dev, I would say probably work on day job. I can talk from this. I was a software engineer at a tech company for 10 plus years. Typically, kind of, service side stuff. I had back end responsibility, some full stack responsibility, depends on the team that you're working with. Nothing particularly interesting. Maybe sometimes connected to game stuff. I could still get hired at game company for other stuff like server logic. I have no problem translating my regular like Amazon website or Google knowledge to apply to that. So if I had a job, that might have been also a type of job that I would be working on. However, I'm a full-time content creator at this point. I use that term very loosely because when I say full-time, that's all I want to do and that's all I'm focusing on doing. And I'm trying to make that a job. Like my business would be that. But I have other opportunities. I just recently got contacted by some like running a class for students like kids, homeschool kids. And I think that's pretty awesome opportunity to teach Godot. And I'm already doing tutorial type of thing anyways. So there are some opportunities out there. But no. I guess I think about games. I haven't played games in a while. Like I haven't had patience for a lot of big games recently. I don't really enjoy AAA games either. Right now I'm focusing on doing this, Living Life, and Marvel Rivals. But yeah. Game dev stuff, I assume, PM Teddy says. Sarah says, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Connect rooms. Okay, we're going to connect room 1 to run 2. Danimal says, I love Marvel Rivals. Oh, great. You probably will hate me because I'm Widow main. I only play Black Widow. I do black if I want to, but it's so good. I'm best with it. So especially if the enemies are divey, Black Widow is actually surprisingly well suited against dive champions. But if it's like 3 divers is hard, but it's like 1 or 2 divers, then you can really wreck their life. Anyways, but yeah, I've been enjoying that. Last season Diamond, currently Platinum, trying to climb past that, but I don't have that much time, unfortunately. So anyways, we're going to say from the position of the from, and we're going to go to position here. Not going to even do any fancy stuff. We're just going to climb the position one at a time, and then clear out everything that's in the way. Mutsi says Marvel Rivals is not Living Life. Yeah. Damage boosted Widow can one-shot squishies. Oh, it can if you hit the headshot, but sometimes I don't even care about it. Like the hitbox registration on Marvel Rival is so strange, and sometimes like the verticality is so different. I try not to hit headshot most of the time. I do a lot of the times, but yeah, no, I love getting damage boosted. Also, not scoping in is low-key OP. I just go close up, actually. Close up Widow is actually really good. Close range Widow. Denmal says, I usually end up support because everyone jumps on damage. I am a decent Mentis, I think. Ooh, I do need a Mentis partner. I would say I do like playing all the roles. So I play Widow, but then I flex into Captain America. I think I can play every role except shield tank. I do try it, but it's not as easy. Only shield tank I play is Magneto. Pretty good tank with... I'm good at playing tanks that create space. So like Captain America and Thor, I push in pretty well because I know how to survive. For healers, I like to play Cloak and Dagger and Raccoon, whatever his name is, Rocket. And then Loki. Loki is my main heal. I don't like playing flying champions or heroes. I don't play that very well. Mutsi says, if your Mentis boosted, true, no fall damage on Widow. You do get fall off damage if you're not scoped in. No fall damage if you scope in. But thing is, if you're close range, then it's basically no fall damage. So you're doing full scope in damage when you're close, and it reloads slightly faster when you're not scoped in. So what I like to do is because Widow is one of the few characters that can really run fast. You run behind a tank. If you're frontlining with Widow, you run behind a tank and kick them and stun them. Then everybody can basically hop onto the tanks while the tank doesn't do their usual like survival thing. And that's one of my little things that I like to do. Actual Cannibal says, been meaning to try Marvel Rivals, but just haven't felt up to it lately. It's surprisingly good for giving a big IP game. I enjoy it. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I guess I'll have to do grid level increments here. So what I'm gonna do, go from the front position. Do I have to do my navigation again? I mean, basically it's just going to be a straight line up to it, huh? Where I mean, yeah, we have to do the cell navigation thing. We're back at it. We're back at pathfinding at this point. Mutsi says kick shot, grapple shot. Yeah, especially with the recent update where it reloads automatically after the grapple shot. It's really strong. But before, I used to have this habit of shooting, kicking, letting it reload, grapple hook, and then shoot. But now I can just do pop, pop, pop. But if you still keep that survivability, you can now get 3 shots. You shoot, kick, reload, shoot, kick, then shoot. It's actually pretty good if you can hit heads. Actual says, been meaning for... Oh, no, I saw that. 74 gigabytes. That's a lot. Denimal says, gotta go vote. I feel like you might not be on when I get back, so I'll catch you next time. Bye, everyone. Bye, Denimal. Thanks for stopping by. All right, well, let's do this. Okay. Well, starting from the position of the base room, I can say the position to grid. So I can go ground layer, or I guess wall layer, and get the local to map, and then from's position. And this is going to be the starting grid position, right? And then we can go towards the target position, right? Var target grid position equals wall layer local to map to position. I wish I could just kind of blast it open without having to do any calculation, but unfortunately I do need to climb like that. So basically, poor man's A star. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the candidate nodes that are... I guess I should include the diagonals in this case. And then whichever is closest to the target grid position, I'm going to pick it and blow out, if there's anything, blow out the adjacent blocks. Basically. Yeah. As the center, I guess. And keep going. I don't know if that's going to be too slow, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So starting to target, and we're going to queue up the neighbors, And this one is going to be array of vector 2i. We're going to have starting grid position on it. How many times are we going to implement graph search in, like, this is like, I feel like that's just my life at this point. Is empty. While it's not empty, we're going to repeat this operation. We're going to say searching, right? Or looking, which will be the looking position right now. Vector 2i will be Q's pop front. We're going to push back and pop front. And then for that, we're going to queue up basically all the neighbors, which will be looking plus vector 2i1, right? These are the right, left, all that things. PM Teddy says, that's how I dance. I push my back and pop my front. Oh, is that how you dance? All right. We got to have a game dev hot tub stream and game dev dance competition. I don't know how that's going to work out, like how it's relevant, but I think there's an idea there. Okay. I still need to compare the distance. I don't need to do the whole like priority queue. I guess I could just bring in the priority queue home. Ugh. Oh yeah, thanks for the follow, Actual Cannibal. All right. So last time with it, the what do you call search algorithm, we implemented a min heap, aka priority queue, to implement our own A star. And guess what? It will come in handy now because that's something we need for this. Because I want to make it so that it prioritizes picking certain nodes, right? And that comparison is going to be done here. So we got min heap here. We're just going to copy and paste this real quick. Hopefully using that is not too difficult. Yes, it's my code. Yes, I don't remember how to use it. Folder, util, and we'll create this right here. Create script, rough count it, create. It's going to be rename min heap. Go in, boom. All right, we got rough counted min heap here. And then the way I use it, I initiate with the comparator. Okay, cool. So on the level, I can initiate the min heap with the comparator. Comparator is a callable, and it requires A and B comparison. Okay, A and B comparison. So come over here. We're going to make this into a min. Okay, get that out of here. We're going to call this min heap new. Function comparable will be A, and then we're comparing vector 2i to another vector 2i. And the priority would be the distance to the target. So target or A dot distance square to the target grid position minus B dot distance square to target grid position. And then we're going to queue up, insert a starting grid position, and then Q pop. Cool. And then we're going to add different grids here. Q insert all these different things like so. left, down, up, and it's going to prioritize popping whatever is the closest already. Actual Cannibal says, passcode was pass me problem. Yeah, exactly. But in this case, at least using it seems pretty straightforward. I think I'm understanding it. If it works without any error where I don't have to touch the min heap code at all, then I say it was a success. El Solom says, that's what happened to me, lol. I ended up with my own A-star, but it's weird and I haven't tested beyond graphing nodes. I see. Well, this one has a comparator and everything, so my min heap and A-star is pretty solid. Not to say that yours weren't, but okay. So we're inserting 4 direction, and whenever it pops out, like there's no need for any searches. It's actually, if looking, is basically the same as the target, then we definitely want to break. Otherwise, we're going to keep inserting. This queue is going to have something. There is no such thing as mistake. As soon as I search something, as soon as I look at it, I'm going to blow the path out. So basically, in its vicinity, var path width will be random I range of min path size to max path size, right? And as soon as I look at that node, I'm just blowing it up. So I'm going to say clear. Oh, hey, actually I'm reusing. Okay, well, we got to be careful here. I don't want to clear the ground. I think I only want to clear the wall here. So I'll say is clear ground, which will be true. And then clear wall, which will be true as well. So if clear ground, do this. If clear wall, do this. But now, for this purpose, I'm going to clear an area at a starting position, which is where I'm looking. For the size, vector 2i of path width. I guess starting position should actually be minus looking minus vector 2i of path width divided by 2 and path width divided by 2. But this is going to be integer division. Well, anyways, it's okay. We'll figure this out. I believe in myself. No G-cause? Tut. And you call this A-star. What? This is not A-star. This is a min heap. You can make A-star with min heap. I didn't say this is min heap, or this is A-star. This is part of A-star. See, I made the fundamental structure that I can reuse instead of A-star that I can reuse. Okay, so clear cells for the area. We're looking at the halfway point so we can blow out this thickness. And we're going to say, don't clear out the ground, but clear out the wall. And voila. As soon as it reaches the target, we're good, right? And it's going to break. It's not going to infinitely loop. It might run for a long time, but you know what? I just want to see what happens. Oh, hold on. Hey, what happened to it? Did it not make a... Wait. Where's my path at? Did it run? Maybe it didn't run. I want to see. PM Teddy says, do we say a prayer first? Never mind. I'm a little confused. So it is... Hold on. Is it because... Okay, so I did say a warning, which was this method makes it so that... Well, that's not true. It goes through each room, so at least it needs to connect to one other room. Guaranteed. Did the clear logic not work? Clear cells for area. So starting from certain position, and it'll clear the size. The area, which is starting position plus, yep, and then we're clearing the wall layer off of that. Clear wall is true. Random index equal to I. Where? No. Random index. I already checked for that. Basically, I made it so that random index is between 0 to -1 of the size. So one less. And if the random index is greater than or equal to I, then shift it by 1. So it will, I mean, I confirmed that the selection was 2 different rooms. I guess what I'm curious about, you know what? I'm going to do this real quick. Just for this, I'm going to 920 1080 this so I can see it. Zoomed out to see if there's any room that worked. Jinwer says, that's the game. Oh, what's the game? Oh, this game is a roguelike dungeon miner where you go down to basically like enter the dungeon, but you go down to a dungeon to collect resources and build and craft. And then you have a hub world for upgrades. And yeah, it's like bullet hell too. So if you hit wrong nodes, there's going to be some environmental hazard that you have to dodge. And enemies are all about mining. Whoa. Wait a minute. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. It did work. Oh, hold on. It did work. Wait a minute. What? The real secret. Oh. Interesting. Wait, why? This is a really huge path. Maybe I need to change the path thickness. But technically, it's kind of cool. I mean, kind of worked. Only thing is that it only... Wait, why is it... Where's this, like... Hold on, if it cleared the darkness... Is it clearing the ground layer too? I thought I made it false. A PM Teddy says the walls are now floor. Yeah. So it is clearing it because the collisions are gone. So wall layer is gone. But you still see this like dark bit. Weird. definitely set it to false, so it shouldn't clear it. So what's happening? What's happening? Also, I want to make it 1 and 2 actually. Yeah, 2. Maybe 2 to 2. Yeah, okay, that's a little better. But either way, interesting what I think's... Oh, it's going from top left. Top left of the room. So room position should change actually. Room position, room position. I guess that means I could set up a door. Anyways, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What I want is... Oh, this is kind of cool. What's going on here? What is this connection right here? It went from this like this. Oh, I see. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hello? There you go. It was blocking my way, which is a kind of cool feature. All right. Well, how... I am a little bit confused because according to Collision, I've cleared the walls. But according to the graphic... Oh. I had the ground layer hidden. Okay, well, that's a simple solution. Hey, why doesn't this work? Oh, you have to hit it just right. Wait, that should... Wait, what? Okay, there was a little bug there. There you go. Pretty cool. Okay, it's working. It's working. I mean, look, it's not the prettiest, but I say this is it's pretty good. Pretty good start. I do think it should be probably more irregular shape. So I'm gonna go from 1 to 3. And I think the starting position now should be assigned. So stone vein. Let's see. I think we can create a node that's a type called entryway. Entryway. Yeah. So that it's not just from the top. Like I can assign right here, and right here. So if I say on the base room, you know what? I'm not going to even do the base room. I think I'm going to do something different. This is a type of pattern that I never use in programming, or in Godot at least. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to make an empty node that just has a script with its identity. I mean, that's a long way to do nothing, actually. What if I do scene group? Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. McCurry says, I am fending for my life here, writing HTML and CSS like my life depends on it, because I have an assignment due at 12. In 7 hours. Sounds familiar, McCurry. Welcome to the scholarly life. All the divs need to be centered. Get in line, divs. Get in line. Oh, I'm surprised that you guys are still using div. I thought since the Flexbox came out, divs become outdated. But I guess div is the standard, golden standard of boxing. I'm not a front-end dev, so I don't actually know what I'm doing with that. But it's okay. All right, so what I'm saying here, what I wanted to do, if you go to the map, and if I go to the room, you know, I have all these different types of rooms within the level and such. I think what I can add is a new scene. I'm going to add a 2D scene called Doorway, or a room entrance, right? And it's not going to have anything fancy on it, just a script and with a class name called room entrance, right? And the idea is I'm just using that as an identifier of the node so I can check its type. I mean, I could also add property, but that's not as fun. So for example, if I go in the base room code, if I say func get entryways or entrances, it feels weird. Then it's going to return a, I guess, I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but. Well, if I do a scene get tree get nodes, it's going to give me all the nodes in a group that is that, right? Anyways, I'm just going to do it for child in get children. If child is room entrance. Whoops, stop this. Then child, add child. Pushback child. We're going to get var, oops. Var result, which will be array of room entrance. Not that it matters, the type. So I'll say run there. And return result. Okay, so we got the room entrance. Probably add it as room entrance so that it doesn't freak out. We have this. McCory says, wait, have divs been replaced? Am I old? It hasn't been. I mean, a lot of people still use it. MS Blackout says, hello, I want to make a platformer inspired by Mario games. Can I do in Game Maker or should I learn Unity and C#? I heard platformers are pretty easy to make in Game Maker. So, I mean, I don't see why. Honestly, the platformer genre, the engine doesn't matter as much. I'm using personally Godot, by the way. And Godot has a lot of tools for that. But I heard Game Maker is pretty easy to use for platforming. I wouldn't worry about learning C# specifically for it only. But, you know, at the end of the day, whatever you want to do. I say if your choice is between Unity and Game Maker, go for Game Maker. If your choice is more open, I say try Godot. Godot's pretty good. PM Teddy says, every game engine has a learning curve, but Game Maker as well as Unity will cost money. Oh, Game Maker costs money? I didn't know that. Well, Godot is free, so there's your answer. Cynical Sorcerer says, evening guys. Hello, Cynical. Welcome, welcome. It is a still afternoon for me, but that's all good. Cynical says, use tables for layout like it's 1999 with the embossed outline as well. Exactly. No, I think div is okay. A lot of people are using Flexbox. More modern websites like to use Flexbox from what I can recall. But I can never figure it out because I don't spend enough time for it. Anyway, so the idea is on level 1 here, when I'm getting the current position for the rooms, right? Connecting rooms here. Instead of getting the position of the wall or the room itself, we're going to grab the room's entrances and we're going to pick random and try to connect those two. And hopefully, I mean, there's a bug with this, obviously. The bug is plus room. The bug is that this path thing would cut through some other rooms, potentially. And we can make it so that it avoids a path that's already been lit. Problem with that is if you're trying to cross a path, then it's not going to work very well. So I don't know. I still haven't thought about this particularly. We'll figure it out. Entrance. So we're going to put some room entrances down here. Let's put this one, let's say right here. And then we're going to add another one. We'll add that one over here. And then we'll add the third one here. A little messy, but I am not worried about it at this point, to be frank with you. Like that. Good enough. Other room. Let's do spawn room or craft room here. We'll put the entrance here. And then put another entrance here. And then put another entrance here. And then last one over here. And then the spawn room, we'll put the entrances. Probably just, oops. Right here. Another one here. Another one here. Another one here. All right. And I think, hopefully that won't just break. PM Teddy says, Blackout, I think you can. Oh, what? But I can't sell my game on mobile using Godot, right? What? Why not? I know for a fact Covino has released a mobile game on iOS and made the game with Godot. So it's something you can do. All right. Hey, yo. Not bad, not bad. Okay. So we're going to actually start the game in the spawn room now. Spawn room. And we're going to make this even smaller, I think. 50 by 50 to maybe like 70 by 70 here. And we're going to increase the resolution now. Back to our original thing. Divide by 3. By 3. All right. Okay, there's clearly some collision issue with the corner thing. I'm not sure what it is. That corner block doesn't really work sometimes. Oh, no. Okay, there you go. We got to definitely make sure that the walls act like walls with the items, but that's too much work right now. All right. Hey. Okay, there's still an issue right here. You can see... Oh. Oh. Wait, why is there ground here? Thanks for the bits. MS Blackout. Thanks, I'll check it out, says MS Blackout. Yeah. Hey, why is TTS not working? Well, that's something I need to figure out. Someone help me. No. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. I should really probably figure out TTS before I get more viewers, honestly. I mean, I think this is pretty legit, no? I think there's a few changes I need to make for sure. Like, we can make the pathing a little bit smarter so that it avoids... Oh, okay. I definitely need to make the player collision smaller. Let's see. You gotta be shorter. Like that. Thinner. Maybe. Let me make sure I turned off the other thing so I don't get confused here. There you go. This is a little too confusing. Okay. Thanks for the follow as well, Blackout. See, look, this collision is not working for some reason. Huh. I don't know. And then this one right here, where I can just go through. Like you see the ground here. The ground should be removed. I don't know why it's reappearing. We're going to have to do something about that for sure. Not really sure what I did there that makes the ground appear. Clear ground. Not doing anything there. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're going to have to figure that out. But yeah. We definitely need a clinking sound for hitting the rock. Satisfying little pops. Nice. I love that. Cute. Okay. Now I'm just playing the game. All right. Well, it's playable. Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. Does it feel... Do I feel like the character is gliding too much? What do you think? Definitely need dodge roll. I might have to make my own animation for that one. Or dash. Good harvest. Good harvest. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it. Something about it. Actual Cannibal says, hard to tell without controlling it. True. Oh, a bunch of debugs here. Ooh, error. What is it? It's saying character weapon, error calling method filter. Cannot convert argument. Argument what? Okay. Jeez. Anonymous lambda cannot convert argument 1 from object to object. On the filter. Oh, we can't call on this. Oh, because it's like the collision. Overlapping bodies. Oh, I guess it's node to D. It's like node to D. And then it has to be like, yeah. Okay. Is that it? Otherwise, monitor 602. That's not too bad. I don't think there was any orphan nodes. Good, good. I think we're okay. Okay. There you go. We're getting somewhere, I think. PM Teddy says, I think the speed of the character is good, just the animation speed doesn't match, maybe. Oh, okay. I see that. I see what you're saying. Here. How about I increase the player character's animation speed here? 20. Oh, can I even change that? Bleh. Why won't you let me edit? Oh, is it on top like this? Oh. Well, all right. That's fine. 20 here. Run's going to be 20 here. Let's see. It's a longer stride. I'm pretty sure the shadow will help. I know for a fact that the shadow helps. Whoa. You see how all the rocks have a crack already? What the? What'd I do? Oh, hold on. I think I made some changes here. Not the rock. It's under a character. Pretty sure I messed up the animation for one of these sprites. Environmental character. Yeah. I don't. Okay. Hopefully that'll be okay. The animation's being changed created a bug. What? Yeah, no, I don't get it. I mean, I think it's because I was using inherited scene and I changed some property on the base and it somehow affected the top layer. Oh no. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm actually enjoying controlling this. I do definitely think that there needs to be a shadow under the sprite. And then some of the sound effects will really make this solid experience. This, I'm not really sure what's happening. Because I think what's happening here is that, oh, it tried to make a path from here to here, for example. Like on top here. And it didn't go around. It just went straight through. PM Teddy says, the animation speed change looks better now when you run. It looks fun. Yeah, it's nice. Definitely need to change some of those pathfinding algorithm. There's a little bit more to do with it. Another thing is, so for example, it can be the last thing. You know what? I think I can fix this actually pretty quickly. What I can do is if the location that I'm searching is open, like it's already uncovered, then deprioritize it. Like add 10 points to it, basically. So over here, when I'm doing the comparison for the distance, right? This queue is doing a distance comparison between the two to the target. But also, not only that, so we can say var A score is the A distance to the target. And then var B score is B's distance to the target, right? And in addition, I guess it can be float or whatever. I suppose distance squared is int actually. Okay, so I'll do int here. So in addition to these scores, we can say plus 10 to these scores if that section is already uncovered. So we can say, hey, well, can I even do that? Is it a relative position or real position? It's a real position. Okay, cool. So I can be like, hey, look at the ground wall layer. We're going to look at the wall layer. Yeah. Look at the wall layer. and then get the cell atlas coordinates of the A. And if that is empty, we're going to add 100 points to it, right? So if this is a case, A score is going to be 100 points. And then same thing for the B score. So like between the same thing, it's just going to be the same, right? So like that, B score, and we're going to check the B location as well. So prioritize a fresh place. Maybe even 1,000 actually. And let's see what that does. Hopefully that'll avoid uncovering. Zuzu says, hi girlies. Hi Zuzu. It's not looking promising. It's frozen. Hold on, can it not run? A score minus B score. I guess there's a possibility that when it does that, it gets stuck in a situation where it just can't traverse anymore. Wait, what the heck? There you go. It works 1 out of 2 times. Okay. Some of the paths have been merged. This one is connected to this one. It's not as hectic. Feels a little bit more connected. Right? But the problem now is that it doesn't run every time. Oh, okay. I mean, that's not bad. It feels a little bit more... I mean, this is still a problem. It's still doing this, like, connecting this side of the wall to all the way to the bottom side here. So I don't know. PM Teddy says, works 50% of the time. Will be a great selling point. Yeah, exactly. If the game doesn't work, just restart until it does. That's the game. The game is that the game might run. There's a chance the game doesn't run. I like those. Woo! Not bad, huh? Actual Cannibal Panda says, maybe get the center of the room by volume. Why the center? I mean, I like the... Sorry, you'll have to explain to me what you mean, because I'm clearly not understanding. What I like about it, if I have to tell you what I like, is the fact that I can choose where the starting point is of the each room. So for example, this one, you can only go from here, or here, or here, you know? I don't know. That's how I feel about this. Uh-huh. I collected all of the rocks in here. 52. Pretty big. Oh, actually says just spitballing really. As a start for the path. I mean, yeah, I think we had that initially, like the well, center of the volume, not just center of the position. So you could do like get the center, give it the size, get the center, and then do a distributed centering. That might work. My only thing right now is I want to make sure okay, I'm going to do something else here. Instead of choosing a random index now, I'm going to do n-square operation, okay? So I'm going to find the closest room. hauling 52 rocks around and still with great speed is amazing. Yeah. Maybe that's the next thing I'm going to do. I mean, I'm getting pretty tired. I still haven't eaten all day. It's 2 p.m. I haven't eaten breakfast or lunch. So I guess this is a good time to stop. Thanks everyone for tagging along and watching. Today is Tuesday, I think. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it is Tuesday. It's been fun. I really suck at what do you call streaming more than 4 hours, I think. Oh, by the way, for those of you who's joining me just now, there's a thing that we're planning to do right now, which is what do you call? I'm pretty close on YouTube. I'm almost 10,000, just shy of it, 9.96K. On 10,000, we're probably going to do a 24-hour stream. Or, I don't know if I need to make an announcement for that, but that's the idea. I'm pretty sure I'm going to suffer through that, but that's what I will do. 24-hour stream. Yay. We're 400 away from 10,000. So, thanks for the follow, JJ Bear, rather. Appreciate it. PM Teddy says, that's tomorrow problem. Yeah, exactly. You know what? The weight doesn't matter. Actual says, get that munch. Exactly. I need to get my food. I think I deserve it. Covino is at 5 hour 40. Unfortunately, Covino only streams for 6 hours, I believe. So it's probably not a good spot to be. I know I sent you over to Mort yesterday. Dawn just started. You know what? I'm going to send you over to Dawn. All right, everyone. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Join me in my journey next time. I hope I'm done with this, at least the free version of the game, by end of next week. We'll see what happens. Thanks for the follow, Cynical. Yep. Keep along. If you're not in our Discord, come to Discord. I make an announcement if I skip a day. I don't stream on weekends, but I stream almost every week, every day during the weekdays. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what I just got. I just got a notification. Is that a... Oh, yep, that's a YouTube sub. Thanks for the sub. All right. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.